computers don't have souls.
The complete and total lack of humanity.
It doesn't make friends. It doesn't make enemies. It doesn't have screwed up childhoods to pull good stories from.
Nope. Doesn't have trauma.
Never tried a diet that failed. Doesn't understand what that's like.
I do believe AI will reach a point where it's much better than it is right now. But I don't believe it's ever going to have the soulfulness that you're talking about.
It's the Inspiration Place podcast with artist Miriam Schulman. Welcome to the Inspiration Place podcast, an art world insider podcast for artists by an artist, where each week we go behind the scenes to uncover the perspiration and inspiration behind the art. And now, your host, Miriam Schulman.
Well, hey there, it's Miriam Schulman here. Welcome to the Inspiration Place. I'm your curator of inspiration, and this is episode number 313. Today we have a returning guest. We have book coach Candice Davis. She was the editor who I hired when I was struggling through writing Artpreneur. And she helped me basically coach me on my mindset, but also really helped make the book much more valuable. So I'm actually having her help me with my next book, which I've been talking about for a long time, but doing more talking about it than doing it, which is why I decided I need a coach, just like I tell my clients why they need a coach to work with me. So it's much easier when you have some help. You'll get there faster and with just a lot more grace and ease and flow. So we were discussing my next book, and then we got on the topic of ChatGPT and AI and what's wrong with it. And I said, you know what, Candice, this is going to make an amazing podcast episode. Let's get you scheduled so we can talk about it. So without further ado, I want you to listen in on our conversation, 12 reasons why the copy you're producing with AI still stinks. Let's go.
Hey.
Hey, beautiful.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am so good. Thankfully. 2023 was wild, man.
Yeah.
It was wild. Yeah.
It's still wild. But,
it's still a bit wild.
But now I'm used to wild, so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I can imagine. You know, this parenthood thing, they didn't warn us appropriately.
No.
I feel
No,
like.
they didn't. It's like we have the guidebook for France and we landed in Italy.
It's not working.
No, it's like, I don't have the guidebook for Italy. Like, Italy's a great country, but I didn't learn Italian. And
I have no idea what the hell I'm doing.
I don't
here.
know what I'm doing. What happened to Paris?
I know.
Today, we're here to talk about all the things we don't like about ChatGPT. So I love that noise you just made. I think we need to take turns on this. It's like, we're not going to run out of things for a while.
Oh my God, no. Okay, so
like be specific, like, yeah. Okay.
Well, my first issue, it's that it's all other people's copyrighted work that they have not been compensated for is being scraped together for you to create something that you're being convinced is new. It's not new, it's stolen work.
Yeah. Okay, so number one is it's stolen work. Let's just be clear. Okay. Stolen work.
It's literally other people's copyrighted work.
Yeah.
Would you like someone to come over to your website and copy your stuff and reuse it for their own purposes?
No, well, actually, somebody emailed me who attended like some summit I did. I'm sorry if you're listening, ma'am, whatever. I forgot your name. And she basically said, I summarized what you wrote and it's 7,000 words. Can I publish it on my blog? I was like, 7,000 words is not a summary. I said, please email it to my team. And then I didn't even want to look at it. And my team says, should I look at this? Not even knowing about the other conversation. And my team was like, it's word for word what's in your book, Miriam. I was like, yes. And you may hate on me if you're listening, if that's you. Like, you can't publish it. HarperCollins would be very unhappy if they found out that you basically lifted my talk and published it.
I would hope HarperCollins would sue. And I'm not a sue happy person. I'm not into
right?
frivolous lawsuits, but there has to be some kind of consequence for essentially stealing someone else's words, thoughts, ideas. Like that is not okay just because it's easier to do.
Yeah. And it's not even okay, even if you say, Miriam said this, I don't want it printed by you. It's printed in my book. I want people, HarperCollins want people to buy my book, not read your free blog post.
Well, and also if I wanted it to be a free blog post, I would make it a free blog post
myself,
on
right?
my own site. Like,
exactly.
That's a lot, friend. I can't. That took some boldness and some nerve to ask you to your face if it was okay to steal your work and share it with the world.
Yes, I know. It's like,
and I'm sure people, like, because we live in a world where it happens all the time, right? I'm sure in her mind, she hadn't done anything wrong. She had no idea.
She thinks she's helping me.
Correct. She's helping you. She had no idea. That's not taking my work and distilling it down for other people in my own words. It's not helping me. No, it doesn't help.
Does not.
It doesn't help. I'll tell you about the most fun I ever had with, I used Gemini as an experiment, which is a version of ChatGPT.
Okay.
And I said, write copy about whatever for a middle-aged, highly educated, professional Black woman. ChatGPT does not know how to talk like people. What I received was honey child.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm sorry, this was Gemini. I don't mean to insult ChatGPT, though I doubt it would be any better.
You know what it is? We're really talking about why AI copy sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to just say number 2, it's racist.
It's racist and sexist.
Okay. Yes.
It manages to be both. And it went through this whole, and I just kept like egging it on, right? Like, so it gave me like this whole list of things in what was supposed to be a Black woman's voice. And it was pretty much every stereotype, linguistic stereotype you could pull together, put into one piece of content. And so when I responded to it, I was like, this sounds crazy. Like, basically I was like having a conversation with it. And it was like, yeah, probably every Black woman doesn't talk like that, and we shouldn't use stereotypes. I'm like, what you just did. Like, this is not a human. This is like
no,
the
and
scraping.
We talk to it like it's a human, but it's not. So, okay, I'm going to go back to the first thing you said, other people's work, but so we said other people's work. Number 2, it's racist and sexist. Number 3 is because it takes the entire internet. So yes, it's stolen work, but number 3 is it's basically, if you were to say to somebody, I want you to write an essay, but before you do that, go read the entire internet.
Yeah.
And what makes the entire internet good writing?
Yeah, most of it isn't. Most of it isn't.
So what you're getting back is like mediocrity.
Yeah, correct. You're asking for it and you're getting it. You're getting a scraping of all the mediocre writing on the internet with a sprinkling of what's really good. But ChatGPT, any generative AI software doesn't know what's good, right? No. So it's just putting it all together. Anything it can find on that topic, it's putting together.
Yeah. And then going back to your number 2, so you gave the racist example. So I formed inside my artist incubator membership site, these like pods, these accountability pods, which has been amazing. And I wanted to give them cute names because I didn't want people referring to it. I'm in the Tuesday 11 a.m. pod.
Yeah.
Because that makes no sense also because they're all over the world. So I was, I wanted the pods to be artist names. So I asked ChatGPT, make me a list of names. And then at the end of the list, it says, can you include a female artist in the list?
Do they exist?
And then it did know about female artists because once I said that, it gave me back like Kara Walker and Joan Mitchell and like it knew, but the first batch, it might have had Frida Kahlo and that's it. Like, it was like, come on, you can do better.
Yeah. The assumption is that that's what you wanted though, right?
Exactly.
It was trying to give you what you are supposed to want. Not good, friend. Not good.
No. Okay. So it's your turn. Tag your it. Number 4.
Oh, there's no voice, right? So whether you're writing website copy, marketing copy, a book, interestingly enough, it'd be nice if it had an actual voice to it. ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever the system is, cannot give you a voice. And I've seen many people say, well, I fed it enough of my content that it now can write in my voice. If that is the case, friend, you might want to work on your voice. It can't. it completely lacks any kind of voice. It's distilling it down into what it thinks is the most palatable for readers, the least common denominator.
Yes, the Artist Incubator teaches you strategy. You'll see results immediately because accountability, community, and coaching keeps you motivated.
I absolutely love this program. Like, I'm just in love with it. I'm in love with you, the people, everything about it has just been so wonderful. And it actually keeps the person motivated in a lot of ways, if that makes sense.
But beyond the results you can expect from making more money is the transformation you'll experience through increased confidence. Listen to artists Cassie and Deb.
5 months ago, I would not have told anyone I am an artist. I didn't ever. And not I wouldn't have. I never did, ever. And now I do. When I meet people, I tell them that's what I do. And just to have that truth of myself that I can own, I don't know what more I could say is a big change for me. Because I mean, to hide that part of yourself of me, it was really hard for a really long time. That sounds kind of crazy, I suppose, but it was like this weird secret that I was hiding. And now I don't even feel like I want to. So that is a huge thing for me. It's huge. It feels so good. And I have you to thank for that, Miriam. I really do.
I do believe because of this incubator and because of the confidence that you exude, I am believing in myself, Miriam, for the first time ever, especially as an artist, but most importantly, as a person. That's the greatest blessing of all. I mean, that's worth more than anything.
To learn more about the incubator, go to schulmanart.com/BIZ. That's B as in ball, I as in icicle, and Z as in zippers. And now let's return to the inspiration place.
Okay, so my number 5 is going to be my tells that you did this. Your subject line is title case with the first word is unleash your something.
Oh gosh. Oh,
do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
We get so many emails now that is unleash and everything's a journey.
If I have to take one more journey in my life, your marketing journey, your writing journey.
Would that be number 5, that there are tells? It's like there's certain words
Yes.
it likes that are just so
that real humans don't really use when
It also likes to begin emails. I hope this email finds you well. But then it tries to get creative. I hope this email finds you well in your artistic endeavors. I hope this email finds you well, brimming with creativity. And people will send me emails now that I know they used one of these AI programs to write because they don't know me. And they began their email with, I hope this email finds you well. I was like, but you don't know me. Who are you?
That's definitely number 5.
Okay. Yeah. So number 5 is tells, right? Okay. So unleash. I hope this email finds you well. Is there any other journey endeavors or are there any other tells that stand out to you?
I mean, just words that we don't use in English. Like I had a series of emails come to me talking about why I wanted to be a part of this herd. I don't want to be a part of any herd. Actually, I'm good. Join this program and become a part of our herd. I literally in your life, has a human ever said that to you?
No. Yeah, that's weird. That's very
AI
weird.
written. It has to be.
I know. And I'll call clients out. It's like, this little section here looks like you must have used AI, and they'll admit it. And it's like, and I tell them, you're smarter.
Oh, Miriam,
these robots are stupid.
I had a client send me a whole chapter that we had to have a sit down and talk about. Ma'am, this chapter of your book, you have a brilliant, beautiful, specific voice in every other chapter. And we hit chapter 5 and that voice disappears. This is so, did you use ChatGPT? Well, yeah, I thought I should use it. There was no, she wasn't attempting to scam anybody or anything like that. But everyone around her is saying, use your tools, use your resources. And so she did. And it was so obviously not her writing.
Yeah.
Everyone can tell, friend.
And it's not even that you can tell it's not their writing. It's that
it's not human.
It's like, yes. Okay. So I'm going to put in here, when you said number 4, no voice, there's one thing that one of the AI programs I put in my writing, and it told me that my voice, they was able to describe what my voice is. It says, your voice is unapologetically confident. Great. Good to know. So that part, it actually was accurate.
Yeah.
So when I've tested some things out, or I've tried to do things, and I said, please rewrite this as unapologetically confident, it cannot do it. So number 6, the one thing it cannot seem to get rid of is hesitant language.
Oh, interesting. I haven't
Yes.
paid attention to that.
Even when I give it so people say, no, you just have to come up with the right prompt. Even when I give it the prompt, do not use hesitant language, it still does. So for those who are listening who don't know, I know Candice does, but it's my mission is to, I aim to, I hope to, I strive to. Oh my gosh.
Just do it already.
Yes. And my clients will write their about pages with that, and I'll like take that all out.
Yeah.
It makes you sound so beginner.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not good.
It's not a good look. It is not a good look at all.
And any one of Candice's people are listening to this, you don't want that in your query letters. You don't want that in your proposals. You don't want that on your sales pages. My aim is to teach people. No, you teach people.
You teach people, friend. Just do it already. Stop talking about what you're going to do. This is what you do. It's really that simple.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to make this a totally different category. So number 6 is hesitant language, but number 7, and I see humans do this too. So this is just like the computer's copying bad writing. So stop telling people how excited you are. Just be excited.
Yeah. Yeah. I do see people do that as well. But yeah. And of course, what we forget is that artificial intelligence isn't yet really intelligence, right? It's not coming up with stuff on its own. It's just taking and putting together different things other people have written. So of course, it's grabbing the bad writing. As we said, it's grabbing the mediocre writing to put out there. So yes, I always feel like I tend to underwrite because I come from a literary fiction background. We tend to be a little more reserved in our writing than some other people, and I have to really push myself. But if one more person is thrilled or excited in my inbox, I'm going to just scream.
But okay, scream. So I mean, ChatGPT does this, but I've been reading emails like that.
Oh, for years.
And from people who should know better.
No
Probably
argument
because they have a team who, what?
No argument from me.
Yes. I know, I'm excited that I have an online class to announce. You know what? We know you're excited because we know you're about to make a lot of money from it. Please tell us why we should be excited. We don't care that you're excited.
No, just announce it already.
For us, yes.
Just announce it already.
Yes. Okay, so what do we call that? What is that called?
Oh, gosh. It's...
You know what it is? Okay, no, it's telling instead of showing or something like, it's something like that.
I agree. Terms. Yeah, it actually is. It actually is. It's telling when they should be showing.
Telling instead of showing. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're going to summarize all these at the end. All right. Number 8.
One of the big issues is, so in our world of coaches and online entrepreneurs, people want to be seen as thought leaders and experts, right? You cannot pull thought leadership from generative AI. You can't. You cannot come up with new ideas. You can't come up with new concepts through generative AI. You cannot. It doesn't have the capacity to do that. It cannot create thought leadership material for you. It can't.
So how do we say that's not creative?
It's completely lacking in original ideas.
Yeah, it's not original. It's not creativity.
Right. It's completely lacking in original ideas. Yeah.
It can come up with an idea that you didn't think of, but only an idea that's all over the internet.
Correct.
That doesn't make it a new idea.
Right. It's not new at all.
All right.
It's not even a new creative. It's not even a new expression of an old idea. It's someone else's expression.
That's right.
Nothing new about it.
Nothing new about it. And the word salad you're going to get is also not new.
Nope.
Yeah, the word
salad.
And
you're getting the same word salad that someone across the country who's putting in the same similar prompts, they're getting the same one you're getting. Right?
That's right.
You're getting almost the same content as another person. You have no idea how many people are saying, give me a blog post on the 10 best steps to whatever, and are getting almost the same thing that you're getting and then posting it. So you don't have original content, and everyone can tell you don't have original content.
That's right. And it's so boring.
It's boring.
There's people who used to be interesting who have started using this AI stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, do you know what you're doing? And it's so sad. They don't. They really don't. It's people I used to like too.
They'll come back. They'll come back. They'll come back. I have to believe.
How about, so good writing, good copy is about breaking the rules.
Yeah.
And AI only knows how to follow rules.
Yeah. And I'm all for knowing how to follow rules, right? I feel like you can't really break them unless you at least intuitively know them, right? You don't have to study them and be able to rattle them off, but understand the rules so that when you sit down to write, you can do it your way, which allows you to break the rules. AI can't do that.
Yeah.
It can't do it.
All right. We're up to number 10.
Oh gosh. I feel like this should be a big one, but I've been giving you my best, I feel like. I mean, at the end of the day, my big question, and this is not a reason why your AI copy sucks, but my big question is, why do you feel like you need to use AI? What is it that's lacking in either your creativity, your skill set, your belief in those things that makes you feel like you have to use AI? So you using AI makes me question what's missing here. Like, do you not care enough about your audience to invest your actual self in the copy you're writing?
Well, I joined the Artist Incubator because there were a lot of things that I looked at in the program that I thought, oh my gosh, I need that. I need to build a website. I need a statement. And there was so much that I realized that I don't think I could have read about. The sessions were powerful because I think in order to manage a good business, you also have to have the right mindset. I've been able to get myself out there more, which means selling my art. And I have an email list, which means writing emails and in turn selling more art. Yeah, it's grown exponentially. I doubled my prices, listening into the other people who are in the program with you and knowing what they're going through and knowing that you're not alone, knowing that there's other people all over the world going through exactly the same thing. I've changed a lot. I don't know if you remember that first call with me, but I was so unsure of myself. I questioned whether I should get things out there. So I'd like to say that I'm stronger and I believe in myself more, and I can talk about myself more and talk about my art with no apologies, and that I know my worth as an artist.
I'm going to drop number 10.
Do it.
Computers don't have souls.
Ah, the humanity, friend. The complete and total lack of humanity. And I do believe AI will reach a point where it's much better than it is right now. Like, I just have to go based on what technology has been in the past in other areas, and that it will get better. But I don't believe it's ever going to have the soulfulness that you're talking about.
It doesn't make friends. It doesn't make enemies. It doesn't have screwed up childhoods to pull good stories from.
Nope. Doesn't have trauma.
Right. Doesn't have PTSD. Doesn't have an eating disorder. I mean, like, come on. Never tried a diet that failed. Doesn't understand what that's like.
Not kidding. I did probably my very best, most prolific writing when I was deeply, deeply depressed. And I'm not recommending depression.
No, right. We're not saying that. You can be happy and have good writing.
Correct. And I feel like I'm happy now and I have great writing. But I was incredibly prolific. It just honed my focus during that time, right? And I grew as a writer a lot. And that is an experience AI doesn't have. Yeah. In fact, it's trying to have all the experiences. It's almost like when you write for everybody, you're basically writing for nobody.
Yeah.
AI is a version of that. It's trying to be everything. So it ends up being really nothing. Bland, boring.
Meh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That word salad. Oh, I have an 11, which means we're going to have 12 because 11 is a weird number. So number 11, and you'll think of one I know. Number 11 is that it's repetitive.
It is repetitive.
It like repeats itself over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'll say to my clients, like, I know you wrote this with ChatGPT because you said the same sentence 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
But like you just said it with different words.
Oh my God. Oh. Okay. So number 12 for me is similar but different, is that it is dumbed down. There's nothing in it that reaches for the next level of anything. Intelligence, articulation, nothing. It is so dumbed down. Once again, trying to be what everyone it thinks wants, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's dumbed down content. You're not dumb. If you have a product or a service that you're selling, whether it's your art or your coaching or whatever, you've got to have something happening in your brain.
Yeah.
And this content is so dumbed down. Is that the copy you want to send out?
Yeah. Okay. So now we talked about why it does not write good copy. It cannot write your book for you. I mean, it could, but is it anything anybody wants to read?
People are doing it every day, though.
I know all about that. Yes, they are. But it's just so our audience knows that it's not that we're technophobes
at all.
Are you using AI? Which I didn't prepare, Candice, for this question, but I'm sure you can give me like 5 things that you.
I don't need a lot of preparation.
It's
fine. Like, so it is like sneakily, and I don't think there's any malice in stuff that we use all the time, right? So if you use Grammarly, which I don't because Grammarly and I don't get along, but some of my clients do, right? So if you use Grammarly, then they have an AI element to that's just what it is. It doesn't turn off. Like, that's what it is. I have no doubt that programs like Microsoft Word will try to catch up, and we'll do that. I don't particularly want AI making suggestions to me, but I know a lot of people who are maybe developing writers don't have a problem with that. I will occasionally use AI for something like, give me 20 keywords about something that I want to go research. I will use it to start my research, but I trust nothing that I get from it.
Oh, I've argued with it. So I have. Like, there's this artist, and I went to the Guggenheim, and the curator was saying how she began her art. So this is Gego. She's an artist. I just want to give context. So just because artists left Germany in the lead up to World War II and went to South America. So she's a South American artist. And I went to a tour of the Guggenheim and for work. And the curator had mentioned that she really began her career after she was divorced.
Okay.
So I was trying to get more details for a podcast episode. And I was asking ChatGPT, and they were like, oh, no, she was never divorced. And then we call it out on it. I was like, well, don't you think blah, blah, blah. And then it was like gaslighting me. Because would say, oh no, that's not what I said. It's actually, it's this. Oh, you know what I mean? It's like, and I'm like arguing with the computer.
It's right there in writing. I can go back and see what you said. It's right there.
It's like, stop it.
But they do give a disclaimer that this may be BS. Whatever you do.
But it doesn't know. It'll just make something up.
That's the whole reason why they have to give a disclaimer. So I do use it as a starting place sometimes. Honestly, not that often, but sometimes as a starting place, I will use AI to give me ideas of what I want to research, but never, ever, 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 ever trust it without verifying from a really good source.
You do realize, Candice, that's number 13 now, that you can't trust the facts.
You're right. You can't trust it.
You can't trust it.
You can't trust it. You can't.
You're right.
I don't use it for other work stuff. I will use it for hey, give me some ideas for places to have a writing retreat, things like that. Just, to see what it spits out. But I don't really use it for work a lot.
Yeah.
Not because I hate it, but I just don't find it useful for me right now.
I use it for things like we had an Ask Miriam Anything session, and I was asking them if they wanted worksheets to supplement the trainings. I personally have never used a worksheet in any online training I've ever taken. Therefore, they weren't in my course. But other people don't feel that way. And I do have worksheets for my boot camp. I was like, well, I had them for the boot camp. Maybe I should have it for the course. So I had asked one of my team members, could you make a poll? But I didn't really give her enough time to make a poll. So this is not any shade on her.
Yeah.
And so when it came time at the meeting, there was no poll. So I was like, okay, just put it in the chat. So then what I did was I took the recording of the meeting from Zoom and I put it into ChatGPT. I said, would you please analyze it? And it was able to do that. So and then I asked, like, what do you want the next training to be? And so it was able to do that. So it's really good at analyzing data that you give it.
Well, the only issue, that you provide for it.
That you provide, that you know aren't lies, you know.
Right. Some of my diehard, like some authors I really admire, like some of those diehards are like, you're just feeding the beast. Like the more but at the end of the day, the beast is getting fed whether we feed it or not. So I don't have any problem with using it for sort of that type of analysis. I love worksheets, by the way. Like it cracks me up that you don't, like I'm a worksheet person. Like I will use all the worksheets in a course or program. But so something like that, no, I don't have any issue with that. One of my clients does a lot of workshops. She will use it to create like itineraries for seminars and workshops and things like that. Stuff that she could do, but it does it much faster for her. And it's not substituting for her own creativity in any way, shape, or form.
It just can't. It's just like, it's so bad. And it actually got worse. Like when it first came out, whenever that was, when did it come out? It came out right the same time. Yeah, 22, right before my book came out. So I always think January 23. But when it first came out, it was better. And then they put all kinds of guardrails on it when it started like making passes at that Wall Street Journal journalist. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right. And then it got dumber.
Yeah.
Like, it did. And it's like, you can't even have it come up with like, it used to be you can have it come up with like 5 titles for podcasts. And now every single one is unleash your creative endeavors.
It's the same 5 titles that everyone else got.
It's like, no, I don't want to unleash my creative endeavors. It's horrible.
It's nothing's worse than herd. I'm not joining the herd. Like there's just no way. Yeah. When I think about
creative journey,
like when you think about what's on the internet, there's a lot of like harmful, nasty, hateful stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
And does ChatGPT or whatever the other one's called, like, do they know enough not to scrape and include that? Like, where are I'm hearing what you're saying. Guardrails did not help, but I don't know that I feel like there is a potential, like when I asked it to speak like a Black woman and it gave me all these stereotypes, for it to contribute to some of that hate-filled language that already exists on the internet.
Oh, and the image generator's also anti-Semitic, by the way. So like I did some segments with my friend Jen Lehner for the podcast, my podcast called Kvetch and Kavel, which are Yiddish words for complain and praise. And so she loves AI. And so she said, please create me an image for the Kvetch and Kavel for Miriam Schulman and Jennifer Lehner. And it came back like with these goblin looking.
No,
I'm serious. Like it looked like Nazi propaganda. And the only hint that we were Jewish was the Kvetch and Kavel because they're Yiddish words. But it came back with like these monstrous looking women.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, okay.
Again, see, but this is my point, right? Because of what's on the internet, we don't know what type of racist, anti-Semitic, homophobic, transphobic, whatever it's scraping that it's compiling for people. Just more of the same.
All right. So, my friend, if they do want to write an original, what do you call it on your podcast? You have something like it's not a great book. It's
a transformative book?
No, your husband says it in the intro. That is your husband, right?
That is my husband, yes. It used to be his best friend did it for me for a while. And then I was like, I need to change it too often.
No, you have a tagline. If you want to write, it's not transformative. That's something AI would say. It's something better.
I don't remember. I literally don't remember. But if you want to write a book that actually makes a difference and actually sounds like you and actually is of good quality, those are the people that I like to work with.
Yes. So you have more than one way to work with you. I work with you one-on-one. You also have a community that's called
Authors Ignited, and I love that community.
Okay, beautiful.
So much. Yeah.
Love that. Okay, so we're going to link to Authors Ignite in the show notes. Candice, and of course, in case people don't know, I'm sure I'm going to say it in the intro, but I'll just say it again. Candice was my private book coach for 6 months, and I had such imposter syndrome. There were so many times that I wanted to hand back that advance, and that would have been such a mistake.
Oh, you got through it, and you did an amazing job. Imposter syndrome or not.
Yeah. No, I'm very pleased with the impact that I made with that.
That's awesome.
I'm proud of the work we did together.
Me too.
So you can work with Candice. We've linked all her details in the show notes. Oh, wait, you know what? We promised to give them a list. Let's do that. And then you're going to do your last words. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we have 12 reasons why your AI copy sucks, plus one bonus reason. Okay. Number 1, you're stealing other people's work. Number 2, it's all the isms. Number 3, it's mediocre. Number 4, no voice. Number 5, we can tell. It's hesitant language. Number 7, you're telling instead of showing. Number 8, it's not creative. Number 9, good copy is about breaking the rules, not following them.
Mm-hmm.
Computers can only follow rules. Number 10, computers don't have souls. Number 11, it's repetitive. Number 12, it's dumbed down. And bonus number 13 is you just can't trust it.
Yeah. Good list.
Very good list. Do you have any last words for
I do.
our listeners?
I will say this. If you're using AI right now to write your stuff, don't beat yourself up. We've all tried to use tools that will make our job easier, but I will promise you that you don't need it. You don't need it. Whether you're writing a book or emails or social media posts, you can learn what you need to know to write great copy that people actually want to read and that actually gets the results that you want. You don't need AI.
Beautiful. Okay, my friend. Like I said, everything we talked about is in the show notes. And I will see you the same time, same place next week. Until then, stay inspired. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Inspiration Place podcast. Connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/SchulmanArt, on Instagram @SchulmanArt, and of course on schulmanart.com.